Get another day of good rest.
Oh yeah, man. I love the weather out
That's
here.
what's happening.
Kev Mac video, you know this is for sure. Kev Mac video, open your soul, represent your ghetto, baby. Kev Mac video, you know this is for sure. Kev Mac video, open your soul, represent your ghetto, baby. For the dime moves and the lokes, for the 6-4s on spokes, for the OGs that did a dime, came back around on parole, for the homegirls with the scrap game, little homies that gang bang, from Pelican Bay to YA, rearrange your mind frame. Yeah, I know what you been through, shit you had to go tend to. Your mama gave birth on the turf, I know them killers you kin to. This for the lost generation, broke as hell, mad and impatient. But if you know your history, you can't have a strong foundation, baby. Kev Mac video.
How did the concept of Inglewood Family come about?
Here again, you know, it's a thing. I guess that's where some of my influences felt, because what happened, we were at actually my older homeboy, somebody who probably none of the youngsters or anybody would even know about, from the neighborhood, who was actually down with the chain gang or whatever, and knew, you know, all of those older cats. He was an older dude named Wallace. He lived on 2nd Avenue in Inglewood, and we used to hang out in his garage. And so I don't know why we had decided to change the name or whatever, but we were kicking around names and what have you, and I threw the name family out there, and the committee, you know, everybody liked the sound of that, and you know, so we changed the name to the family. And it wasn't really, I don't think we had put Inglewood in front of it at that time. We were just the family.
And what year was that?
That was 1973.
Oh, you got a visitor, huh?
Oh yeah, man, that's Seal Dog, my swan home.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Hey,
Coming.
what's happening, people?
Yeah, we out here in North Carolina.
North Cackalack.
All over.
Holding it down. Holding it down.
When did, if you know, when did the blood part come into play with Inglewood?
Actually, for me, when I started hearing about, you know, the whole concept of blood and all of that, I was in Los Padrinos, and I was there with Honcho, Salty from Grandy's, Priest, it's another brother from the PJs that was there, Carl Smith. I want to say his name was Yaya or Yeye. He said he was Bonnie's little brother. I think her name was Bonnie Williams, Tookie's wife or whatever. He said he was her little brother. So I was in there with all those dudes. I think Bitter Dog Bruno was there, but I think Bruno was in another unit. But that's where in there they were like Salty. He would talk about his interactions with Pyru or whatever, and that, you know, the Pyrus would always say blood. You know, that's their greeting was blood. They weren't using cuz. So the Crips were using cuz. So in my mind's eye, I always say that the term blood came from the Pyru when you're applying it to the whole gang world or whatever. That's how, you know, the blood thing came about, and then different neighborhoods started adapting that, and that's how we started distinguishing ourselves in terms of, you know, we're not going to use the word cuz anymore. From now on, when we speak to each other, you know, we're gonna greet each other as yeah, what's up, blood. And so if dude came up to you and he was like, you know, what's up, cuz, or whatever, that was a beat down. And then it turned into vice versa. If you use that term in front of some Crips, what's up, blood, you know, then they knew then that, you know, you weren't with them. So
there was never no big meeting on the street.
well, to me, I had you know, I knew dudes from that I was really kind of, you know, close to, guys that I dealt with and politicked on a regular basis that were from like Denver Lane, Pyru, Bram, Swans, because actually Swans is like when I lived on 74th between Main and Broadway, that was like part of the epicenter of where the Swans formed and started. I remember the first party they had in, like, I want to say 1972, 71 or 72. They had a party on 74th Street, and that's when the Swans were forming. So back to your question, I never heard of a meeting. You know, we weren't invited, and I never heard the people that I knew from Denver Lane telling me that there was a meeting, or that, you know, the Pyrus saying that there was a meeting. Maybe there was a meeting, but we weren't a part of that meeting, and I never heard from, you know, the people that I knew from all of these other non-Crip gangs mention a big meeting.
So basically, it's a media myth, or you guys are just unaware of.
You know, meeting. For me, I would say a little of both.
But now there was OGF and then IFG. When did the B get added to that?
That actually came after my tour, so I would say sometime in the 80s probably.
Kev Mac video, you know, this is for sure, Kev Mac video, open your soul, represent your ghetto, baby.
Give me a date of your ending of your active years opposed to when you first remember the blood being added to Inglewood Family gangs. Gang or gangsters?
Man, we actually, I mean, there were times when I might write up on a wall family gangster or something like that, or we might even be, you know, say gangster family or something like that. But up until like, I'm gonna say right at 79, 1980, we still were not writing IFGB on walls or whatever. So if that, you know, transition took place, it took place after my tour of duty, you could say, or after I was on deck doing what I did. But I know up until right around 79, 80, we weren't, using that term.
Well, once again, in your opinion, how did the term blood come into play?
I think it was different for everybody because at that time in that era, it was Swans, Denver Lanes, Brims, Van Ness Brims, Blackstone Brims, Bounty Hunters, all these bishops, who else? I want to say villains or something. We had the West Side Family. So you had all these different factions that were not Crips. So I can tell you how the term blood came to Inglewood, but I can't tell you how it came to the Swan neighborhood. I can't tell you how or when it came to Denver Lane or when the Brim started using it or whatever. One of my theories is that, this is something that the police started using and coining, since we're now separating ourselves by red rags and blue rags, or now we go to jail, we say, oh yeah, I'm a blood, so the police say, oh yeah, they're bloods, they're bloods, and just kind of lump us all in together, when in reality, during the time that I came up and came through all of this, we were different groups, from different areas of the city. And we never, or at least when I was doing my thing, we were never up under an umbrella where we all just said, hey, we're all bloods.